And anyway, from Hong Kong with Taiwan. Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
When I saw the screening, every time Jessica showed up in the film, I really saw a lot of you in her. So much that I thought it was a live action movie or something. Did you?
What a compliment. Thank you.
Will you adopt me?
What?
What?
There's an elite crew with all the best spider people in it?
Who's the new guy?
这次蜘蛛人穿越新宇宙又多了好几位新面孔，而 Sony 正在发展女蜘蛛人外传中的其中一员，就是大家不能不认识、带球跑还这么杀的这位。
Guys, can we focus?
Yep.
Right.
Your first reaction while they reached out and wanted you to do this film?
I screamed. I think all my reps knew how much Spider-Man means to me, and how much this world means to me. I called my family. I felt like I told my siblings, and they were like, what? They just knew how happy to be for me, and excited to be for me, and such a fan of especially what the filmmakers have done with Spider-Verse. So just thrilled.
And in the very first beginning, how did you find the right voice and performance for Jessica?
You know what? That was a journey, honestly, because you have, at first I didn't know what she looked like. I didn't really know much about her. And so in the process, I was just working with the filmmakers, trying different things, trying different, jokes, and then getting to see her and getting to feel her on the page. It was just, I found her at the end of that first session. I felt like I was like, oh, okay, I'm grasping who she is. And then even that developed over time, seeing her relationship with Gwen and the big sister vibe. So it was fun to find that voice. Spider-Woman.
What was the most memorable moment throughout the whole process?
I think probably working with Haley, because she was the first person I got to work with just face to face, and Jessica Drew and Gwen Stacy's relationship is so important in the movie, and so to be able to work directly with her, and of course I knew her voice from the Spider-Verse films, but it's a different thing to just be face to face, going back and forth with somebody, and it just made it more fun.
I guess you're not the type of person who would just stand straight and do the voice without dramatic hand gestures and nothing or
no.
something like that.
You can't help it, and you almost crave it. It's just like, you want to feel it, and it's hard not to have an environment. You almost want to make the environment in your head. And she's on her motorcycle a lot, so I had to put up my little fake motorcycle heads and figure it out.
People always say doing the voice without lines is the most difficult while doing the voice work. How about you?
Oh my God. That's you always feel kind of dumb doing that, especially again when you can't see the environment. If they're just like, she's falling off a cliff, you don't know how far, so you're just like, oh, let me how do you do it? So that part is challenging. And I also just love working off of people. I like I like building off of jokes. So to just stop at one point sometimes is but that's the great thing about the filmmakers is they're so funny themselves, and the directors, they're just they'll throw things back at you that you can play off of, and they're just also comedic geniuses.
Stop him now!
而这位则是上一集就出现在片尾，这一集放大角由奥斯卡伊萨克配音的蜘蛛人2099。
I had no idea what was coming for the following film when I did the small cameo of Miguel O'Hara at the end of the first movie. I remember I got the call from Phil Lord, and he said, we've got this little kind of post-credit sequence that's kind of hilarious with Miguel O'Hara and maybe sets him up for something in the future. We'll see, but would you want to do it? And I said, of course. He's one of the few Latino Spider-Man out there I was aware of when I was a kid. So I jumped at the chance, and then after the triumph that the first movie was, when they came back to me 3 years ago saying we've got an idea for Miguel O'Hara for the new film, and he's going to be, a central character. I got very excited about that.
All you had to do was listen.
When I saw the designs, my jaw just dropped. And also what I love is that between the first film and this film, he's clearly been hitting the gym, because he got big. And he's such a weird, interesting mix of things. He's this sad, vampire-y, mafia don kind of character that's also, I'd say, the most animalistic of all the spider people. There's something that becomes quite feral about him when his rage just gets too much. And one of the few Spider-Men with a cape that we saw. He's got this laser cape that kind of disintegrates. We see that for a moment, which is really exciting. And his fangs, and it's just astonishing. And one thing was seeing the designs, but then finally seeing the film and seeing the way that he changes and shifts, and how his kind of blank coldness turns into just fiery rage. He's an incredibly designed character.
Sorry, the only Italian I know is from Mario Kart.
Taiwan, you should see this on the biggest screen ever, because you will never experience a movie like this. The Spider-Verse movies are so special. They immerse you into a world, and what better way to be immersed than in a giant theater, watching the film, feeling the sounds, and just going on an adventure, going into the Spider-Verse.
I think there's probably no other film that I've seen that has this much expressive power, both visually and aurally. The soundtrack, as we know from the first film, is even more expansive and incredible. And to hear that in a theater, married to some of the most incredible visuals I've ever seen of a movie, animated or otherwise. I think it's so exciting, and it's a real epic. And again, it's the animation. It's not a genre. It's just happens to be a tool to tell this incredibly cinematic story.
Colors and the detail and the depth. You know what I mean? And seeing that on a massive screen is just want to see it. I'm like, someone yesterday said they're gonna watch an IMAX. I'm like, I'm definitely gonna watch an IMAX, because it's just like there's so much going on. And you'll pick up new things the richer your screen is and the bigger your screen is. So, and also you want to watch it. This is the kind of film that you like. This is the kind of film that you fall in love with film.
Simply is no experience like seeing any movie in a movie theater, but this movie in particular, it's a life-changing moment to sit in that seat and feel as though you are completely immersed into this world, and you yourself are traveling across dimensions, and you feel like you are a part of the pages of this comic book. It is an absolute experience, and with that there is so much heart and so much emotion. I do believe this is a film for everyone, for so many reasons. I think there are so many characters you are bound to resonate with one, fall in love with another, and be inspired by the rest of them.
There's nowhere to run. My bad, everybody. There was somewhere to run.